Donald Trump picked Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to lead HHS, a man who has questioned the well-proven conclusion that HIV causes AIDS, made millions by spreading lies about vaccines, compared vaccine mandates to Nazi Germany, said Wi-Fi and cell phones cause leaky brains, threatened to remove fluoride from drinking water, and made baseless claims that medication for depression led to mass shootings. In 2019, Mr. Kennedy spread lies about the measles vaccine that contributed to a measles outbreak that killed 83 people in Samoa. Most of those were children and babies. Robert Kennedy Jr. and his lies cost lives. He is dangerous, unqualified, and unserious.
Back with us, Massachusetts Senator Ed Markey. Senator, that is as powerful a statement against this Kennedy nomination as I have heard. Going forward, what do you think the Senate needs to know about this nominee?
Well, I think that all of these questions that are being raised about vaccines and their effectiveness, which is settled science, and it's why 75 Nobel Prize winners have come out in opposition to Robert Kennedy's candidacy to run HHS. If you go down the entire litany of positions which Robert Kennedy has publicly taken on these issues, he's essentially questioning everything that has happened in the last two generations that has reduced dramatically the vulnerability that not just Americans, but people around the world have to polio, to COVID, to mumps, to measles, to all of these infectious diseases that had vaccines that were developed to protect them. We used to average 3,000 people a year dying from polio. Now we have none. And you can go down the list of all the rest of these diseases with the same conclusion and then multiply it by tens of thousands around the rest of the world. So this is a candidacy, as I said, which is unserious. It's dangerous. He's unqualified. You've already documented that in your opening statement, Lawrence. And it's something that actually is a distraction. We should not be talking about settled science. We should be talking about access to care for those who don't have it. We should be talking about the price of health care for Americans, for those who can't afford it. We should be talking about the role that private equity increasingly is playing in getting into the hospital systems of our country and looting the funding that should be in ICUs, that should be in emergency rooms. That is what we should be talking about. Instead, we're having a debate about settled science that has 75 Nobel Prize winners saying as loudly as they can to the United States Senate that it would be wrong to confirm him as the top healthcare official in our country.
Do you feel an extra responsibility as a senator from Massachusetts to stand against this nomination, since this nomination is before you exclusively because of his last name and his family relationship to the former President Kennedy, to his father, and to his uncle, Senator Ted Kennedy, all from Massachusetts?
You know, Lawrence, you and I, we grew up in Greater Boston. And we looked at Mass General, Beth Israel, the Leahy Clinic as the center of the healthcare system for the United States and the world. Today, we look at Kendall Square, where every single major biotech in the world is trying to find cures, vaccines for new diseases. So, yes, I take a great pride in coming from Boston. We are the healthcare capital of the United States and the world. We are the biotech capital of the world. And science is at the center of our identity. And when that science gets questioned, it goes right to the heart of what we're trying to convince hundreds of thousands of young people to consider as a career. And we cannot have someone that, rather than encouraging science, defending science, we have someone attacking science, and someone who should know better. So again, this just goes to what we should be focusing upon, and that is access for those who do not have it. Looking at the price for people who can't afford it, and making sure that we are protecting this health system against the looting that already took place in the Massachusetts hospital system in the Steward healthcare system. The Catholic health system has gone bankrupt because of this looting. That is what we should be talking about, because it is spreading across the entirety of the country, and Robert Kennedy should know better.
Senator Ed Markey, thank you very much for joining our discussion tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.